live edition of the Galaxy Geeks podcast. We're jumping in today. There was some breaking news that happened. So Victor and I decided, hey, since yesterday went so well, we figured we'd I don't know, do this again.
Yeah, jump on in.
Yeah. So as you can see from the scroll below, we've got breaking news. Something that has nothing to do with anything else going on in the world, but something so important, so earth-shattering that we felt the need to go live.
Yes.
So here we are going live. So the big news, which Victor sent to me, is I've been in a bubble all day. So it was nice to get that little update, which is something I actually never thought would happen. And I've said it multiple times in many podcasts where I said I couldn't see it happening. It's never going to happen. Well,
it's a liar.
It's happening. So as reported, I mean, the link you sent to me is saying it was from Slash Film.
Yes.
And they broke this wide open today. Star Wars exclusive Mandalorian season 2 cast Rosario Dawson as Ashoka Tano. So that is some big news in our world, man, for sure, because that's something that I don't think we thought was ever gonna happen.
Yeah,
at least I didn't.
Right, and the thing is, we kind of all thought that maybe it would happen in the future, but not now. It wasn't going to be her because there was just so many things going on that it just seemed like it wasn't going to take place. And then on top of that, to be part of the Mandalorian, I mean, I'm assuming we were talking about the Darksaber last night. I'm assuming it's going to factor into that somehow.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that the other Chris from the group confirmed in the group that he had been working on Ashoka Tano since last year. So he was keeping a tight lip about the whole thing. Obviously, he can't say anything because he's working with them, and if it leaks that that somebody says,
right,
Ahsoka's coming to Mandalorian, their asses in the unemployment line, if not sued.
Right.
Because
absolutely,
I'm sure
you have to
involved in
yeah, crazy NDAs. So I mean, you're basically immediately fired and blacklisted. So
tarred and feathered.
Yeah,
in the middle of of Disneyland.
But I'm so glad we got this news today. This is great. It's really cool. And I've been thinking on it now for hours since you sent this to me. I think it was around like 3 or something. You sent it over, and I think I can see her doing it. I mean, especially with with other makeup they're gonna do with her. I mean, Ahsoka Tano is hands down one of my favorite of the newer of the characters. I mean, I loved Clone Wars, and what's great is watching her grow in Clone Wars. Even that first Clone Wars movie they did, not the live action one, but the animated one, and then they did the series.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit, like, that is bad, and she's super annoying, and it's not. Yeah, it's not very. But then it's great because in Clone Wars, like the series, they totally, just made her a much better character. Her story arc, following her, was awesome. And then of course bringing her into Rebels later on was great. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Rebels yet,
she's there.
She shows up. So, and she's one of the best parts of Rebels, and has amazing just so many cool things happen with her in that show. And so now getting a live action version, which honestly, like I said, I've said many times, it wasn't going to happen. I just didn't see it happening. So I think Rosario Dawson is a good pick for this, though.
Because I think she's a good fit, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a really good fit. She's she's a fan first and foremost, which I think is cool. I know this is something she talked about, actually times. Back. Yeah, and actually, if you read the article, she's got this fan, and just reading from the article, this is a fan casting dream come true. In 2017, a fan tweeted at Rosario Dawson asking her to appear in a Star Wars movie as Ahsoka, and the actress responded, yes, please, hashtag Ahsoka lives. The tweet spurred groups of fans to campaign for her to play the role. Dawson was later asked about the fan campaign while appearing in Good Morning America, and she commented, it would be amazing. So as a fan of the character in Dawson, so the article goes on, but Dave Filoni is the one who was basically the co-creator of Ahsoka. We were talking about him on the show yesterday, and I know this is obviously a character near and dear to his heart, and he's also a writer and producer and a director on The Mandalorian. So I feel even better knowing that Dave Filoni is part of The Mandalorian. This is Ahsoka's like his baby, and I think it's going to be great. So I'm going to be interested though to see how they're going to do the voice, considering I'm so used to oh my god, the actor who currently does Ahsoka's voice.
The most exciting part of the show, IMDb.
There we go. I know I can never remember anybody's name. Oh, Ashley Eckstein. Yeah, Eckstein. She I follow her on Twitter too, but yeah, she does the voice normally, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do that. I'm sure Rosario Dawson, they're not going to dub in Ashley Eckstein's voice for Rosario Dawson, but I guess they could, right? I mean, it'll be weird hearing that, but I feel good. I feel good. I mean, if this is passing Dave Filoni's merit,
right,
then I have faith. I have faith. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I like it because, as you said, she's a fan. I like her as an actress, and I think she'll do great. I no complaints on my behalf. I was thrilled that this character is coming into The Mandalorian. It'll be interesting to see how they fit this together.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think it'll have to do with the Darksaber. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be what launches, as you quoted yesterday, Rebels 2. Do we get Sabine as well?
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine that?
Because last time we checked in on them, our faithful heroes were together.
Yeah.
Sabine and Ahsoka were together, and they were going to set off to look for Ezra.
Yeah.
So does the Mandalorian become kind of like what we were talking about the Marvel movies yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Does the Mandalorian become the sort of stepping stone or the jumping point to getting Rebels 2 jump started? You introduce them into the Mandalorian, you have them show up for an episode or two, and then you have them say, well, we're going to continue our journey looking for Ezra, which is we only stumbled upon you, so they're going to move on from this.
Yeah, I mean, awesome. It would be awesome. I mean, now, considering too that like how we left Mandalorian, the end of the season was that, he's now going to go travel looking for this, the baby, the child's homeworld. And, and that's obviously how we're going to run in. Cause if Sabine and Ahsoka, depending on whatever happened to Sabine, or if they got separated, if she's out there looking for Ezra or on some other mission, I don't know. It would be interesting to see like how now they're gonna meet, but I think it makes it very like plausible that they could meet up. Which also, I hope this doesn't answer the question that I had yesterday, considering the end of Rise of Skywalker, and Ahsoka's voice being at the end when Rey is dying, and you hear Ahsoka's voice amongst all the other past deceased Jedi. I hope this doesn't mean we're going to see an Ashoka Tano death in this series.
Now, what if this all of a sudden becomes? Well, there's a few ways to look at this,
right?
Because The time difference between Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker is almost 40 years, right?
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
there's a 30-year gap between
Right.
Jedi and Episode 7, Force
Right.
Awakens.
Yeah.
You've got that. Then you've got all the years that have transpired after that. So it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 40 years, let's say,
Yeah.
between Mandalorian and between Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
One of two things: either what you're saying is that she died, or two, maybe it's just her hearing all of the voices that say were passed on. So Yoda's voice is being heard through Obi-Wan and Luke, and Mace Windu is being heard through, so
Mm-hmm.
they're all being kind of handed down. So maybe
Right.
it's not that she's dead, it's only that everyone from like that part of the Jedi family tree is being filtered through her.
That's also very plausible. I mean, I guess at this point you could pretty much do anything. I mean, did she make it back to the world between worlds too? So there's that, I
What
guess.
what did
I'm still like feeling like that's got to come back. I mean, why would you introduce this giant like thing, the world
right?
between worlds, and then not bring that back? But
Do you
that's
know
just me.
do you know exactly what Ahsoka says when she hears her voice? Do you remember?
I can't really remember because it's been now since December, but it was something like, do you have it in front of you?
I'm gonna try to look it up real quick.
Here we go to the internet. I don't know,
Some
something like we're
there's
with you,
there's
Ray, or
plenty
something.
of there's plenty of Ahsoka death, Ahsoka Tano death. When I just write her in, therefore she would have been 17. Okay, so let's see. So this says Ahsoka was born in 36 BBY and therefore would have been 72 years old at the time of Rise of Skywalker. But the obvious implications is that she died sometime after the Battle of Endor in 4 ABY, after the Battle of Yavin, as dictated in the finale of Star Wars Rebels. Okay, let's see.
So she would have been 72 if she was still alive by the
But
time
that's
Rise of
not
Skywalker happens.
old for Jedis, because
No, and also she's not human.
right.
She's different species. She's was it Tartuga?
You almost said Targaryen.
I almost did. Yeah, but she's the same as Hera.
Oh, okay. Ahsoka was the only one who hadn't died on screen, well, at least not prematurely. She briefly died on Clone Wars in 20 BBY on a planet that looked eerily similar to Exegol,
Right.
inhabited by avatars of the Force, the father, the daughter, and the son. But considering Anakin Skywalker and the daughter swiftly resurrected her, she went on to live at least until 1 BBY. It shouldn't really count as a proper death. Well, maybe that's how they factor it in too.
It's not
Um,
because she's brought back.
right. Let's see here. Mm. Okay. As dictated in the finale Star Wars ever, that leaves a gap of 36 years in which she could have died. Although the event has never been mentioned or hinted in any Star Wars media. Rebels' fourth and final season wrapped in 2018, but the seventh and final season of Clone Wars will premiere. Okay.
Oh, just to answer the other question, her word, what she says is Ray. That's it.
Okay.
Ahsoka. That's what she says, and then yeah, I think that's pretty much what she says. I'm reading something right now, and it pretty much is saying she says Rey.
Okay, so what if it's Rey just hearing voices and nothing else too?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
Because
guess
one
I guess it could be that. I mean, it could be wherever she is, so she's reaching out. So, like, kind of like how Luke was able to project himself. Maybe it's just that the connection is
Mhm.
there, and so if Ahsoka is alive and she's just got that connection because Rey is reaching out like that,
Could
that
be.
sort of like
Good point. Maybe the others are Force ghosts, but she's like the only one alive that she was able to reach out to. She was able
right,
to
and
contact.
maybe she just isn't part of the battle, or she's somewhere else. I don't know, or she's dead. So I mean, it's gonna be a mystery that I guess we're gonna see it play out because it's been
Somehow.
talked about
Yeah.
so much, and we're gonna see it play out. I mean, if you're bringing the character down to live action, and if they're doing well, they are doing the sequel to Rebels, like that's happening. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of and I mean, the way you end Rebels is the fact that you've got Ezra, and you've got Thrawn, like out in the unknown regions. You've got
Right.
and then you've got the Ahsoka and Sabine storyline, and then you still have Hera, with young Kanan Jarrus and Zeb and all the ones that are left over, from the Ghost,
Right.
which does make an appearance in Rise of Skywalker. It would be awesome if Hera is still piloting that, but I would assume
Right.
she also has to be old as well. But or maybe it's Kanan Jarrus' son piloting the Ghost.
Could be.
Even more awesome. but so I mean, so the sequel to Rebels, depending on the jump in time, I don't know where it's going to be set. So, I guess it just depends on the timeline here. Like Rebels is set. I'm sorry, Mandalorian is set after Jedi. Um, that space of time. So the sequel to Rebels, I don't know if they're going to sort of run parallel or go deeper, or it's going to be while all the stuff's going on with the Empire, between Empire Strikes Back and Jedi. I don't know. So that'll be interesting to see now how they're going to work with the timelines.
Is that going to be a one season one and done like Clone Wars, or have they said it's going to be longer,
I
or
don't
what?
know. There hasn't been too much other than the fact that they're confirmed that they're doing it.
Okay. It's just kind of interesting that it was on, it wasn't like Clone Wars, which was on Nickelodeon.
Right.
It was
Disney
on Disney
XD.
XD. So it was still on one of their channels. The only thing that I could think of is that, this is maybe for more of a diehard audience, so that's why they're
Mhm.
moving it over to the streaming service, perhaps.
Yeah. So the I'm reading something here about Rebels from a website in Verse. The Star Wars Rebels season 5 have a release date with no renewal. There's no official Star Wars Rebels release, which would be a season 5 release date. However, according to one rumor, the show could return as soon as November 2020, overlapping slightly with Mandalorian season 2, which premieres in October. Of course, for that to happen, production on the animated series would need to be well underway already, which seems unlikely considering they haven't heard anything official, and it's pretty hard to create an entire TV show in secret.
Not
That's
really. Not if
that's
you're
from
Disney.
that was from the Inverse website, inverse.com, dated 2/27 of this year. So
Yeah.
a few weeks, almost a month old already. So we'll see.
If Disney wanted to create Rebels or any series in secret, they could do it. They have enough manpower. They have,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
kind of see
But
that as
all production's been shut down on everything right now. So
right.
if whatever they were working on is obviously delayed. I mean, this is great news about the Ahsoka Tano appearing, but I guess have they filmed anything yet? Have they not? Like, where is it going? So I guess we'll have to wait to see.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, so that's kind of all the news that's out there right now. We just we thought it was exciting to jump on and talk about that because it
Absolutely.
is it's big news to me, and I'm sure there's
Yeah.
other people in the group that find it to be very big news. But
That are freaking
it's
out. Yeah.
yeah, it's very cool. Like I said, Ashoka Tano's been one of my favorite characters for a long time of the newer, I guess newer characters to
Right.
come out. I mean, it's been a long time now that she's been a character, and between Clone Wars, Rebels, and now we're gonna get a live action version. She's been, the Ahsoka book. It was great. That was an awesome book, and that takes place pretty much right after Order 66, which was so it's pretty cool. Reading that. That's a very cool book. If no one has read that yet, actually, I have it right here next to me. Oh. It is. It's like right on my
Cool.
so yeah. It's a really cool book written by E.K. Johnston. So definitely it's a cool read. If you've already seen all the stuff with Ahsoka and you want more Ahsoka stories, get that book.
Yeah. And you have her looking over your shoulder as well.
I do. I have that one, and then she's over in the corner there too.
That one I can't see, with the Funko Pop
it's
I can
tough,
see.
but yeah, I said Funko Pop, and I got the Black Series over there next to
Cool.
Jaina Solo.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I've got Sabine in front of me. That's about the only thing.
Nice. That would I hope that they come up with I mean, I would love Rebels this season 5 to be, really focused on the two of them, like going at it, looking for Ezra, getting into adventures. I think that'd be awesome to watch. But I am excited for this live action version, man. It'll be interesting. Something I really never thought I'd see. So I am wrong. So I'm excited to see what the first looks will be. Of any kind of usually you'll get like that first look or a little leaked photo or something. I mean, Disney's been pretty good with clamping down on that stuff, so it'll be really interesting to see what that looks like and how it's going to translate into the live action form.
Yeah, I agree.
And it'll be awesome to see her using the two white lightsabers too. That's awesome.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So that's about it. Thanks everybody for watching. This video will be living here in the Facebook group, but we're also posting them to YouTube as well. So if you missed it or you're not watching it in Facebook, head over to the YouTube channel. You can watch it there. You can watch last night's video there as well too. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, we're going to be putting other stuff up too. It's not just this. We're just kind of getting going with the video side of things for the Galaxy Geeks. But we're going to keep creating more things. So as we do it, we're going to be putting things there. And of course, we'll keep up the audio version of the podcast as well. Yep. And if there's anything you guys want us to cover or talk about or chat, send them our way, send them in the group. You can visit us at galaxygeeks.net. You can send us an email there too. So yeah, we're always happy to talk about a lot of different topics. So, but yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope this was a nice, pleasant distraction from all the other news we're getting today.
Yes,
we got to make sure this cuts through everything else because this is big news. It's hot. It's hot.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have an awesome rest of the night. Talk to you soon.
See ya.